Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. So which comes first, World War III or the next big pandemic lockdown craziness? I don't know, and there's a lot of speculation right now. People on all sides are commenting and giving their opinions, and I thought we should jump into this because the path that we're headed and all the things that are kind of popping off in the news kind of indicate that one of the two, and maybe a third, Black Swan, could be in the making in the coming weeks. The whole World War III thing, a lot of us, let me reverse just a second. A lot of us has been focused on the pandemic stuff. Even my video this morning, I was talking about the potential for new lockdowns. Joe Biden has been just today or yesterday diagnosed and publicly, announced that she is positive for the and we're seeing that the White House is saying, yeah, there's a new pokey. And they're encouraging everyone to get it, and just about every time you get online you see someone pointing out that some business in their area is now encouraging everyone to wear the things, or all the employees now have to wear the things, or that there are, Walmart and Target and many other places are expanding their pickup lanes, meaning, where you order online and then you show up in the parking lot and they bring it out to you. We're seeing a lot of that kind of stuff also being expanded. And so there's a strong indication, it looks like, that, and then also case counts, across the board. I would guess the average, just from me looking at it, that every state has been showing anywhere between a 20 and a 30% increase week over week of cases. And hospitalizations nationwide are rising at a rate of around 15 to 20% week over week increase. So we are seeing a pickup of things that could indicate that it's leading us to something happening, right? But then we've also got this war thing going on, and I think a lot of people are tired of it. We're tired of hearing about Russia and Ukraine. It's like it's a stalemate almost. It's ongoing. Who cares? We're dumping billions and billions of dollars into it, and no one really cares anymore, except it actually is a pretty important thing. And the news that we're hearing here in the United States seems to be very different from what most of the rest of the world, including Europe. I believe it was a week or so ago, in an interview with the Hungarian Prime Minister, he actually made that statement. He said, you have to realize that you Americans see a very different kind of news of what's going on with Russia and Ukraine than what the rest of the world and Europe sees. Even European countries are seeing very much a different kind of news than what we are here in America. So there's a lot more going on that's not being told. And then just a few days ago, Tucker Carlson, and I know just because Tucker Carlson says something doesn't mean it's necessarily true, but I would say that he probably has the pulse of things that you and I just do not. He believes that a kinetic, conventional war will start, World War III will start sometime between now and the 2024 election. Most likely start sooner than that, so that things can get kicked up enough that by the election, there's some kind of excuse for a national emergency to kind of shut things down. So there's kind of two opposing opinions, and I wanted to get into is, well, are these opposing opinions, or are they real, or can they be happening at the same time, or maybe they're kind of a smoke cloud screen for something else that's happening. As far as the war goes, just in the last couple of days, some things has kicked up. Russia, the state Russian TV, made the statement that the United States could be the recipient of a Russian nuke in the future if things keep going the way they go. So there's a kind of a subliminal little threat there to the United States. Russia's also said that if the United States puts nukes in the United Kingdom, that's a major escalation. The Prime Minister of Romania, or the President of Romania, has said that some of the Russia strikes into Ukraine is getting extremely close to their border, within just a few hundred yards of their border. we're seeing things kind of kick up there and increase in intensity. And I said this morning that Ukraine is running out of troops. Everything that we can kind of read into over here on this side of the pond indicates that Ukraine is running out of troops. And so they need to be need to figure out a way to do that. They can't just keep recruiting more and more people if they're running out. So at some point, it looks as if there might be some kind of push for Western troops into Ukraine somehow, some way. Also, Abrams tanks will be delivered if they haven't already been sometime this month. Depleted uranium rounds for those tanks are being delivered to Ukraine. And then, of course, somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 to $300 million a week, it seems, at this point, or about every other week to every week, is being sent over into Ukraine. So there's a lot of stuff going on with those two situations that could indicate something really big could be happening on either front, and it could be happening sooner than later. And of course, we also compare all of this to the fact that there's an election coming up in a year, and we all know that there's no way that that's going to just happen without any kind of a hitch, even if it does happen. I mean, it may not, but let's just go with the argument that something that's similar to an election happens next November. We all know that it's not just going to be a normal, smooth thing. That some things have to happen between now and then to cause some confusion and disruption and chaos and confusion, because that's just the only way that they kind of do business. Now, what about a third thing coming in? What if there's a financial collapse of some sort? You know, BRICS just joined up a bunch more people, and today Saudi Arabia announced that they would be continual the cutbacks on oil production at least through the end of the year, which has caused oil prices to jump quite a bit today. Last I saw, Brent oil was hovering around $89 to $90 a barrel. The possibility of seeing $5 in average gasoline prices in the nation, that's that average, I know some of you are already paying that, or close to that, by the end of the year is a very real possibility. And then they said they'll do this till the end of the year, and then come January 1st, Saudi Arabia becomes part of BRICS. Remember, don't forget, as many as people try to downplay the importance of it, the real meat in the US dollar that gives its real meat is that it's the petrodollar. I know that you say, well, it's because of our military. The military is tied to the petrodollar. You know, we make it the petrodollar, and then we go around with our military, with our Navy, enforcing it, okay? You take away the petrodollar, and all you have is well, nothing, because we also aren't showing any signs of a strong military anymore with, you know, the fumble in Afghanistan and how we're trying to weaponize the dollar against countries. Remember that Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, and several others, we went in and took care of business for really a lot of reasons based on the dollar, because they wanted to go off of it. And so now we have a 40% of the world's economy and over half of the world's oil production is saying, we're no longer going to use the US dollar. We're no longer going to use the US dollar. We're going to trade outside of that, and we'll trade with anyone else outside of the US dollar. That is a big deal. It's probably one of the biggest deals that's happened this year. And I think a lot of people aren't aware of that. So are these other things a cover for the fact that the US dollar is on a fast downward spiral, and we're, you know, could very quickly see the United States no longer be the top dog? Will that end up in a war? Will it happen before a war? How will it all play out is the big question. And I think that we probably, none of us know. We have a lot of speculation. We hear a lot of rumors and a lot of theories. But the fact is that I wanted to point out is not that, well, there's all these things and no one really understands. It's that there's all these things, and any one of them are most likely going to happen in the next 12 months. Most likely. I'm not saying 100%. Is there a 100% chance that over the next 12 months that we could experience another, you know, health crisis, lockdown, restrictions? No, but is there a high probability of it? Yes. Same way with a world war. Is it a 100% chance? No. Is there a high probability of it? I think so. I think so. Is there a high probability that we could watch over the next 6 to 12 months some kind of major, I wouldn't say collapse, but it could be, but at least a major hit to the US dollar and economy that could kick the doors open for a central bank digital currency that's already been developed. It really has. The infrastructure and everything's already there. They just need an excuse to put it into play. I'd say that the probability is high for all of these things. And I worry and I wonder too much that most of us, even the prepared, even the ones that try to stay on top of it, that we've seen all of this stuff take place and transpire over the last 3 years, the last year and a half with Russia, and it's kind of gotten us a little numb, you know? We've kind of gotten a little too lax about things, and we think, yeah, well, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, you know? Well, they just finally get it over with. And we're tired, we've grown tired of the Chinese torture, no offense to any Asian people, but the drip, 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 drip. We're tired of it. We want something to either happen or not, you know. There's old sayings, you know, do your business or get off the potty. And I think that's where a lot of us are. But I think we need to stop and realize what it really means when these things finally do kick off. Who knows why they're taking so long? Honestly, I don't think it's that long at all when you look at the grand scheme of things and you compare things through history. But for our instantaneous culture, it seems like it's taken a long time. But I suspect it's because they're trying to get things in the right place. They want things, they're trying to set the chessboard up just right for themselves, hoping that their end goal of global domination, and I don't think it even matters at this point whether it's China, Russia, or the United States, because the people that's running the show are above all of them and they control all of them. So the point is they're trying to get things set up just right so that it controls us. It's probably not even set up just right for these governments. It's so that we, the people, are in the right place. So that when this stuff happens, that they can enact complete control over us. Or at least they think they will. So don't let the long, drawn-out process get you down. Don't let it slow you down and let it get you into a place of, you know, you're just almost in this lethargic state to where, well, I just wish something would happen and get it over with. I've been prepared for months or years now. I would guess that most of us from time to time kind of slack off, and we need to take it pretty serious. We need to step it up. We are doing that here in our local area, and I hear from people all the time that feel the heat and the pressure to really kick things into gear and to make sure your preps, your plan is solid as can be. So I want to encourage you watching to do that. You know, quit making excuses. We all have them. They're as common as can be. Everybody's got excuses. Everybody's got reasons why they can or can't do something. We need to find workarounds to get around those excuses and to make things happen. That's the only way that we're going to survive. The determination that we have is going to go a long way in our survival. Probably even more so than the food supplies that you have stocked up. So keep pushing yourselves, your family, and your little prepper tribe community, because I'm telling you, things are lining up worse than they have, really, for over the last 3 years. And things have been sporadic and gotten worse here and there in different areas, but right now, we're really watching things just kind of fall in line. And over the next 6 to 12 months, I would say that we have a very high probability of something pretty crazy happening, and it's going to directly affect you. So you need to be getting ready for it, folks. Getting your house in order every day, working on it. Set goals and accomplish them. Push yourselves to get ready mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.